Hey everyone, Christian from the MR Trading Group, originally Stock Market Lounge, but we did a little rebranding. This is going to be the first video of our new YouTube channel. We're going to have a bunch of other videos, over the upcoming months coming from me and a few of our lead traders in our trading community. If you want to be part of our trading community, we use the Discord platform. The link will be below in the description of the video, so definitely come out and join us. We have, again, like I said, a few lead traders, and this is a no joke community. We take trading very seriously, but we do also fool around and enjoy ourselves, especially on those days where the market is either flat, or it's just a crappy trading day. But definitely come check us out. Free trading group. Our lead traders go from penny stock trading, breakout, breakdown trading, to using the cloud, to using volume profile, market profile, without even really looking at charts, which is an awesome trading strategy. It's all inflow, outflow of capital. It's all looking for those areas and time frames that a stock is being traded to try to follow, where the value is, where investors are seeing value in the stock. So it's pretty cool. We have a wide spectrum of traders. It's not like some of these trading groups where you have one person leading the group and everybody's following. We tried to create our community as one large holding area for many mini communities. We all come together as one, but each lead does have their own mini following, and people bounce around between each one of the leads and kind of create their own strategy. But it's done like that, and we've seen a lot of scam communities out there where you have the new traders and they look to these guys because these guys kind of know enough to be dangerous, and they follow them, and it's leading everybody into the slaughterhouse together, which is kind of crappy. But in the trading community in general, we all have one ultimate goal, and that ultimate goal is to gain as much knowledge about the market as possible, and make money in it. Using fundamentals, using technicals, using market profile, and inflow, outflow of capital. It's we definitely have it all. Single leg spread, single leg options contracts, multi leg spreads, very complex trading option strategies where you have a bunch of different legs. We definitely have it all in our trading community. Come take a look. Again, the link is in the description, but let's get to it. So I wanted to create this first video, and it's a little more complex, but it's on the very low end of the complex side. I call it using the option chain overlay, an options chain overlay strategy, where you're looking at the options chain, you're looking at what's baked into the price of the options contract. Most of it, what is the expected move from the what the options contract is pricing in. If you want to take a look at options pricing, definitely look up Black-Scholes and how Black-Scholes does the calculation. In the most general form, it looks at history and historical moves, right? So if a specific stock like XLNX maybe has moves of $5 to $10 in a week period, or 12 to 15 in a 2-week or 3-week period. In the most basic form, it takes history. It does not use technical analysis. So if you're big on technical analysis, and you trade options, this is a great strategy to kind of squeeze out more profit than you would you would normally look for. I'm the type of trader that does look for 75, 100, 150% gains within a day or two. That's what I'm looking for. Sometimes I have to sit and be patient and wait, but as I grew as a trader, my risk reward was definitely high on my list of importance. So I don't want to throw out $1,000 position. Open $1,000 position to only gain $200 or $300. I do not feel like that is a good balance for me. I would rather move over to and wait for my options overlay strategy to work in my favor, where I can throw $500 at something to gain $400 or $500, or $300 to gain $300 or $400. I would rather go that route, and be able to allow price action to have that larger fluctuation, where my bailout would be, I could bail out at 30 or 40%, on a $300 position, instead of keeping it really tight on a $1,000 position, not try to take those large losses. It is definitely a major difference, when you're looking for something like this. You do have to be careful of what you're looking for. A lot of the larger caps I've seen don't really show this kind of setup, or have you're able to use this strategy and apply it to the larger caps. If you do, it takes a lot more patience, and you can go days without finding a good trade. The mid cap stocks are the ones that I target with this, and the reason why I'm saying to be a little careful is because you do have to watch volume, you do have to watch open interest. You're looking for something that's going to give you the move when you use the strategy, but at the same time, you want volume for those options contracts. You want open interest for those, for those contracts. You don't want to use the strategy on a stock that trades maybe 100 or 50 contracts per day, at a certain strike. You want to push it a little further out and have a few hundred contracts at least for the at the money, and just into the money contracts. All right, so let's get into it. What I'm going to be doing in this video is I'm going to be flipping between the chart and the options chain, and we're going to do some plotting of price levels, and so you could kind of see the expected move and what the options chain shows, is saying in regards to the price movement, and then what my studies are showing from a technical standpoint. So XLNX was a great setup. It was something that we saw a few days ago, and it was a great trade. It was definitely a great trade to get in. The risk reward was great. You had about 100% gain. I think there was more, but when we plotted it out, our very, very, very low end price target would have given us about 100% gain on the trade. So definitely, let's get into it. If you guys aren't familiar, this is volume profile. What this does, instead of using regular volume, volume is based on day, volume profile is based on price level. So it shows you where current price, or where historically over whatever time frame I'm using, the daily chart, most of the activity has been. And if you take a look between $90 and about $70, you have the highest volume area. The second highest volume area, as you're seeing, is probably around from 110 up to about 130. And again, with this one in the most basic form, with the higher volume areas, the areas that you have a lot of activity, you're going to see, well, you're not going to see it, but there are going to be orders sitting out there, that haven't been triggered yet. So as price moves through these higher volume areas, you're going to get a lot of rejections and bounces, and it's just going to be extremely choppy. When price action gets into a low or a very no volume, or a no volume area, you're not going to have that many orders that are going to prevent the move from continuing. You're going to get continuations through low volume areas. Take a look more in depth with volume profile. There are really good videos out there on YouTube. I'm not really going to get it into anymore, but again, in the most basic form, when price action hits low volume areas, it can really cut through to the upside or to the downside. Just cut through those areas until it hits a larger volume area. And those areas can act as support and resistance as well. So with XLNX, as you can see, the 105 level is really the start of a lower volume area. Let's start with plotting that out. I'm not using this candle. It just so happened to bounce off of this 105. I want to put my price level right there at the beginning of the low volume area. And let's use this right here as the next low volume area. The close of the low volume area. You can use any of these, but I like to underestimate. It definitely helps me out. I would rather underestimate and get the longer side of it, or say, oh yeah, I want price action to go to $90. That's really not necessary, especially if you're working with low volume. Underestimate, get a good return, and if it goes further, then it goes further, and that's great. So I plotted out the low volume area, and now from here I'm going to go over to the options chain, and let's see, about 2 weeks out, let's see where the options chain is showing me price action should fall into. What I do from here is I'm looking at the contracts that are pretty much at the money. Price action right now closed at 106. So let's take a look at the 106 contracts. So they're going for about, let's overestimate, $2.50 on the put side, and about $2.50 on the call side. So I'll take that 2.5 and 2.5 on either side, and I'm going to go back to the chart and plot out where that would fall. I'm going to again kind of underestimate to give myself a little bit of fluctuation, or the ability to get the price target that I want. So this box is about a $5 box, right? 105 to about 100. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to slide it almost in the center of price action where that closes. And what it's saying is by the 24th, price action's either going to land around this 102 area or pop back up to about this 107 area. I know there is a good possibility if price action drops below this 105 into this low volume area, I'm going to get a nice strong, there's a good possibility I'm going to get a nice strong move to the downside. I don't want to estimate 95 as my price target. I would rather use the $100 area as my price target because it is that psychological level, and there's a good possibility even if it drops below, it's going to pop back up over here, maybe for a short time, but there's a possibility that it can drop below. So what I'm looking at is, okay, price action's about 106. I have a price target, a very, very, very low end price target of about 100. From a technical standpoint, again, low volume area, it can cut right through that within a day or two. Price action, or the options chain, is showing, about 102.50 as the expected move to the downside. If it cuts through, it'll hit about $100, and that's 100% gain. That's a great gain for risk reward. I did the calculations. I plotted out price action. I plotted out what the option chain is telling me. I saw that the option chain in the pricing is pushing this into an area that it can cut right through. I underestimated my price target to 100, about that $100 level, and it's going to give me a great gain. My break even is going to be around the 102.50 even though it is a little higher up. My break even is going to be around a 102.50. So if I throw $300 at it, and it hits this $100 level, that's about another $300, which is great. I'm using the on-demand feature right now with XLNX, so I'm going to fast forward to, I think, the 21st. So let's wait for that to load up real quick. And as you can see, I mean, there was a little bit of a gap, but it did break below, and hit 97, about 97.60, which is well beyond the $100 area. And we can continue to calculate. That's about a 200% gain. Where did it stop? Very technical move. It stopped right around here, right? The body of this candle. Very technical move. Didn't break into this low area over here and fill that small gap, but it did hold. Would have been a great gain, if you took it on the break below 105 into that low volume area. Even this day, watch for that bounce over here. It did bounce when it rode back up. Boom, get that sell it at 100%. You don't have to throw $1,000 at the position. If you threw $300 or $400 at the position in a stock that definitely has a good amount of volume trading with the options contract, and you're good. But that's what I do. I'll see setups, I'll come across or do scans and see setups, and I'll say, okay, let me do the overlay and let me see where these options are pricing and the expected move, and then when I do the plot, if it shows me that I can get 75 or 100% on the contracts, I'll go for it. I'll definitely go for it. I use more studies than this. If you want to take a look at my daily, this is what my daily study looks like. I have a few indicators. I have my 50, my 200, I have my 8, I have my cloud studies, and I use volume profile. I don't really use anything else like MACD or any of those other things. This works perfectly for me. The cloud is fairly reliable. Volume profile is reliable. The 200 and the 50 are they're reliable enough. I use those as support and resistance to the upside and the downside. I mean, this just banged off, bounced off the 200. But I like using the 8, and I use the 8 intraday. If you take a look at my intraday, I'm using somewhat of the same type of studies. They are my go-to studies. But that's really all I got for you. Again, if you guys are looking to join a community, definitely check out the description. Join our community. It's free. It's no BS. We have no expectations except for, you being part of the community and being active in there and not sitting there looking for picks. I know there are going to be people who are going to come in, they're going to want picks, and that's all they're looking for, and so be it. But that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for everybody to grow as a trader, and once you reach that threshold, if you want to move on into other communities or just be on your own, that's great. But we would like for everybody to get up to speed and help them in that process. I've been trading full time for about 6 years. I've been in the market for way longer than that. We have other traders, lead traders, who have been in the market for just as long, if not longer than me. But we're not a scam. It's a free community. Come take a look. If you feel like we're a scam, you could jump out. Definitely check this out. Hopefully you guys like the video. If you have any questions about the video, I rarely look at YouTube. So I'm probably not going to reply. It's easier for you to get in touch with me in the group, or if I post this to a Facebook group, you can reply, and I'll try to message you and explain a few other things if you have questions or comments about it. But that's it. That's all I got. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and just keep an eye out for the upcoming videos, because we're going to start pushing these things out. Thanks again, and I hope you guys have a great weekend and a happy holiday. It's Memorial Day. Have a good one.